Hello, everyone. We're here with the new St. Joseph Baltimore Catechism. My name is Tina. Welcome to the Little Chapel of Faith. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. We have platforms on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. If you're on any of those or all those, please like, subscribe, and share. We are here with our daily reading. We do this Monday through Friday of the new St. Joseph Baltimore Catechism. So let's continue on where we left off. We are on lesson 14. The resurrection and life everlasting. I believe in the resurrection of the body and life everlasting, the second coming of Christ. Christ has told us that he's coming again at the end of the world. He will come sitting on the clouds of heaven, and his angels with him. The bodies of all those who have died will rise and go to meet him. It is then that he will judge the living and the dead. What is meant by the resurrection of the body? By the resurrection of the body, it is meant that at the end of the world, the bodies of all men will rise from the earth and be united again to their souls, never more to be separated. Why will the bodies of the just rise? The bodies of the just will rise to share forever in the glory of their souls. Has the body of any human person ever been raised from the dead and taken into heaven? By the special privilege of her assumption, the body of the Blessed Virgin Mary, united to her immaculate soul, was glorified and taken into heaven. Why will the bodies of all damned also rise? The bodies of all damned will also rise to share in the eternal punishment of their souls. What is the judgment called which will be passed on all men immediately after the general resurrection? The judgment which will be passed on all immediately after the general resurrection is called the general judgment. The general judgment. But when the Son of Man shall come in his majesty, and all the angels with him, then he will sit on the throne of his glory, and before him will gather all the nations, and he will separate them one from another, as the shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. And he will set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Then the king will say to those on the right hand, Come, blessed of my Father, take possession of the kingdom, prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Then he will say to those on the left hand, Depart from me, O cursed ones, on the everlasting fire which was prepared for the devil and his angels. Matthew 25, verse 31 to 34 and 41. What is the judgment called, which will be passed on each of us immediately after death? The judgment which will be passed on each of one of us immediately after death is called the particular judgment. If everyone is judged immediately after death, why will there be a general judgment? Although everyone is judged immediately after death, it is fitting that there be a general judgment in order that the justice, wisdom, and mercy of God may be glorified in the presence of all. The general judgment is not really a new trial, but a judgment that is a public declaration and manifestation of the sentences of rewards already given or made in particular judgment. What are the rewards or punishments appointed for men after the particular judgment? The rewards or punishments appointed for men after the particular judgment are heaven, purgatory, or hell. Who are punished in purgatory? Those are punished for a time in purgatory who die in the state of grace, but are guilty of venial sin and have not fully satisfied for the temporal punishment due to their sins. I'm going to read that one more time. Those are punished for a time in purgatory who die in the state of grace, but are guilty of venial sin or have not fully satisfied for the temporal punishment due to their sins. Those are who are punished in purgatory. I just want to... Okay. Purgatory is God's hospital. Purgatory is God's hospital for souls where those who do not love God enough to enter heaven are cured by fire. Only those who love God perfectly can enter heaven, but even many good people die with only a weak love of God. They had more interest in the people and things on this earth than they did in God. They did not love him with their whole heart and soul. They wasted many opportunities to please him. Love is purified, increased, and protected by suffering. This means not only bodily pain, but crosses of all kinds. God sends everyone all the sufferings they need on earth to cleanse, strengthen, and perfect their love. But most people waste their sufferings. They do not want them, complain about them, and try to escape them in every manner possible, even by committing sin. Because of this attitude, the fires of their suffering are unable to burn away their selfishness from their love so that it will be perfect. They must go into purgatory, where they will have to suffer much more intensely than they would have if they had accepted the sufferings on earth. Their love is purified in purgatory, but it does not grow, whereas the sufferings of earth, which we accept from God, not only purify our love, but make it grow. In purgatory, God's cleansing fire burns away from the soul's selfishness till its love becomes perfect and it is ready to fly to heaven. Its sufferings only purify love, they don't increase it. The meaning of the expression temporal punishment is explained in Lesson 31. So if you have this book, look at Lesson 31. Who are punished in hell? Those are punished in hell who die in mortal sin. They are deprived of the vision of God and suffer dreadful torments, especially that of fire for all eternity. Hell is the loss of God. In committing mortal sin, sinners turn to their wills away from God to love themselves more than Him. After death, they can't not change their wills. In hell, they see the hatred of God that sin had put into their soul. There is no love in hell, and those there hate and torment one another. The fire imprisons them and prevents them from ever satisfying any of the torturing desires, while they know that those in heaven have every desire satisfied. After the final resurrection, their bodies will also be tormented. Who are rewarded in heaven? Those rewarded in heaven who have died in the state of grace and who have been purified in purgatory, if necessary, from all venial sin and all depth of temporal punishment. They see God face to face and share forever in His glory and happiness. Heaven is God's home. Heaven is the place, the state of perfect happiness. Happiness comes from complete union with the one we love. In heaven, the saints share fully in God's life and love. They are perfectly united with Him and can never lose Him. Now at last they are perfectly free to love Him as they have desired. All their desires are satisfied, since these desires are all for the things of God. They have the companionship with Christ as man, with our Blessed Mother, and all the angels and saints. Everyone loves one another perfectly, and are all completely and everlastingly happy in God. What is meant by the word Amen, which within we end the Apostles' Creed? By the word Amen, with which we end the Apostles' Creed, is meant, so it is, or so be it. The word of expressions are our firm belief in all doctrines that the Creed contains. And that is Lesson 14. And we will be starting Part 2 on Monday. So, that was Part 1. So interesting. You know, some things that I think we don't even think about, and just sort of every day, you know, happenings and doings, and kind of makes you reflect on, you know, on your life and how it's evolving. So, but anyway, I hope you all have a beautiful day and a wonderful weekend. Be well, be safe, be kind to each other. May God bless us all.